Hello and welcome to Ironside Sheets. Today we're talking about Dorothy Must Die. It's an early morning. The lighting is awful. Sun's not up yet. It's not even the butt crack of dawn. Uh, but gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta take the time. Dorothy Must Die. Dorothy Must Die. Dorothy Must Die. Meh. It's an okay book. It is. I'm telling you, it is the early morning. My eyes are messing with me. Okay. Dorothy Must Die is a very teenage drama heavy book. That's about it. Although it follows the general storyline that Dorothy was all good and sweet and kind, and then she goes back to Kansas, like what we see at the end of the first movie. Kansas wasn't so great, she realizes, so she comes back. She makes buddy buddy with the witch in charge, then slowly takes over. Then quickly takes over. Then takes over everything. She is the bad bitch in charge. But the story doesn't really start there. The story starts there following I think her name's Amy. See, I have a hard time if it wasn't uh clear through all my other videos. Ah, yeah, so they call Amy. It wasn't clear through my other videos. I do listen to the books. I get the storyline, but I forget the characters' names all the time. All the time, unless they're repeated to the point that I've actually cared. It's more about me caring or not. And this book starts with a girl by the name of Amy Gum, which never heard the name Gum before. With two M's. It's like it couldn't even be chicle. That kind of gum. It's gum. I don't know. I just assume that if you're proud of that name, great. Good on you. And if I don't mean to insult you, but it's like one of those things where people just like, I'd rather not have this name. And you're free to choose, right? But I have a feeling that if you gave 100 people the name Gum, now you have to deal with it. I have a feeling that a good chunk of them would be like, no, I'm going to change my name. So, Amy Gum just turned her hair into, I think, bubblegum pink. And she's bullied at school by one Madison Pendleton. Madison Pendleton. Madison Pendleton is very, I'm better than you because you live in a trailer park and I have some money. Or my parents have some money type thing. And she's kind of a bitch. She's been bullying Amy since she was a little girl because she lives in a trailer park. Amy's father left when she was young, and at first Amy's mother really took charge, handled the whole situation, but over time she got in worse and worse mental health or mental shape, I should say, and then physical shape too. However, she was more than willing to go out clubbing. So Madison's telling Amy crap. Amy makes basically a fat joke to Madison Pendleton, who is pregnant. Madison turns right around, punches Amy square in the face, and I can't remember if they fight throughout, or if Madison keeps beating on her. But then the principal comes, sees the situation, and sorry, I felt a hair there. And takes Madison's side immediately because Amy has a big mouth on her and has gotten herself into trouble while Amy has a big mouth on her and has gotten herself into trouble while Madison has always played the good little angel. and that has gotten her out of a lot of trouble. Amy's suspended for like a week. She goes to her mom. Her mom's like, well, don't you worry about her. She's already getting hers because once you get a child, they just suck the life out of you, which is a little bit true, at least in the first few months. And depending on how you handle it from then on, that's up to you. And Amy's like, ouch, mother. You know, you just insulted me without even paying attention. There's a tornado happening in Kansas, mind you. They live in Kansas. And you probably see where this is going. And the mother's like, well, I'm going to a tornado party. Bye. Amy's pissed, but she's like, you know what? I have money saved. I'm going to go grab it. I'm going to leave, and I'm not coming back. She goes, can't find the money. Her mother has taken it all. Her mother's a bitch. Everyone in Madison's life is a bitch except the one guy that just kind of wanted to leave and got Madison Pendleton pregnant. Yeah, that's what started the whole fight between her, Amy and Madison. Tornado comes, picks up Amy and her mother's pet rat, Star, flings them around, drops them in Oz. Amy doesn't particularly understand right away, but she starts to get the hint. She meets a munchkin named Indigo, and then she meets a monkey, a well-dressed monkey, mind you, and they start having their Yellow Brick Road adventure, except Indigo has to constantly protect Amy from being dumb, and Oliver, I think Oliver, I don't know. The monkey is just kind of there for the ride at first. Then Amy eats an apple from a tree which is outlawed except for Dorothy. That's when the Tin Man comes in with his goons because they're the police force, and they melt away Indigo. And this is, at least as far as I know, this isn't a oops, or like we're gonna bring her back type thing. No, she's melted, she's gone, and Oliver runs away. Amy is brought to Dorothy. She is imprisoned. She is rescued by the resistance. She is trained. Now they have to take out the Scarecrow's brain, the Tin Man's heart, and the Lion's courage. They managed to do a pretty good job of the whole thing. Her and her trainers. And then they duke it out with Dorothy. Thing is, it's a series. It's at least a duology. And I am only half invested. See, the thing is like, it's an okay book. I mean, I can't give it a very high rating because it's at least the grammar is decent. I've read, or the syntax is decent, because I have read books where I am looking at the same page and it is painful to read. And it's not like any kind of textbook kind of book. It is like it's just the dumbest book. I won't mention the book because the author asked me to read it. It was a relatively short story or a novella or whatever, but I read it and I'm like, oh my god, dude, you need to fix your writing. Like, I know I'm not the best writer, but for the most part, my writing is understandable. And it makes sense, but I'm reading this, and it's like Yoda talking the entire time, and I'm like, Yoda's good because he speaks backwards to mess with you, get your attention. This guy is trying to do it on purpose to make it sound spiritual and all that. And that's the thing. At least this book doesn't do that. But it's not super interesting either. Is it worth a read? If you're into, I think it's either teen or young adult. I don't even know what genre it's under, but teen or younger adult. Yeah, you're probably gonna get what you want. It's got the aspect of romance. It's got action. It's got. Funny enough, what I do appreciate, it's not like girl power. It's more of merit. Like you learn. I don't like girl power. I don't like guy power. I like merit. So, if that insults you, too bad. I like. I know, not just being a guy, being a girl does not count as merit, mind you. No, you have to earn what you get. And it is very merit based. And granted, is you're the chosen one type thing, but she still has to earn her way, her power, her strength in the land of Oz. Because when she comes in, she's a normal human. When she comes out or finishes the book, she's still human, but a lot more dangerous, and that's worthwhile. I would give this 3.5 stars. It's not the best. If you like it, you like it. Not too shabby. Would I recommend? Would I give it away as a present? Probably not, unless I know someone is really into this kind of book. That's about it. the The thing about this story, and I said this is about it, and I continue. The thing about this story is that it's very linear. It's like taking on video game. It's like a video game where you have different levels and different bosses, and each one provides their own challenge and everything. And you're going through each of the levels. And in the video game, it's like it's you handling the situation, so it's interesting because you start off pretty weak. You don't know anything, and you can't handle anything. But as you go through, you get better and better. And which is just the hero's journey, mind you, but the monomyth. But she goes through the whole thing too. Just it's a lot of emotional problem, like self doubt, and that's all it is. There isn't any difficulty otherwise, because once she gets over her doubt, she starts growing. Like once she believes she's not Salvation Amy, as Madison has called her, she starts growing really, really fast. It's not like, so if you ever play Ark Survival Evolved and you have actually gone through the storyline, there's Gaius Marcellus Nerva who talks about how he he's training his new legionnaires, and they at first are kind of resistant to the training, but as soon as they start noticing the results, that's when it starts, like they take off, and they get really enthusiastic about the whole situation. And the thing is that it's not that she notices results, it's that she's just, oh, my self-doubt's gone, oh, now I can do this, and it's oh, I can just make it grow, I can make it better. There's no real resistance or struggle other than just self-doubt. And while that's okay, and I understand how she has self-doubt, it's also kind of hard to believe that she has a ton of self-doubt, because she's tough. She's been she's been taking care of herself the entire time, so she can for years, because her mother's decline. So I'm thinking about it. I'm watching this whole, or I'm listening. I had to listen to it. I'm glad I listened to it and didn't read it. Um, I'm listening to this whole thing, and I'm thinking, but she took care of herself. Yeah, maybe her mother's a terrible mom, or became a terrible mom, but she took care of herself. Her bullies can't take care of themselves. They probably can't even cook. So it's like, where's the doubt coming from? I get it. Someone tells you something enough, you might start to believe it. But it didn't register with me. It didn't make a lot of sense that she would have this amount of doubt, because she felt pretty firm in well, that's not true. She didn't know who she was, and that was another problem. You had to know who you were, and magic is an extension. She learns magic. Magic is an extension of yourself, right? And so not knowing who you are causes some problems. You don't know who you are, so you don't know what the extension of yourself is. But she realizes she's herself. I don't know. It was. I think it was a bit weak. It could have been done better. Is it worth the read? More or less. Depends on whether or not you're into teen drama, young adults, or young or teen books, and magic and fantasy. Like I said, I gave it a 3.5 stars. It's not the best. I read it, and then all of a sudden I was just like, okay, I don't really want to read the second one. I'm invested enough to do it. I probably will, but I wouldn't care too much. I don't care when that happens. It's just I know I'm probably gonna do it. It's 3.5 stars. If you like this video, leave a like. If you think someone else will like it, share it. If you want more content like this, subscribe. I have more coming probably, unless I fall off the wagon again, but I don't think I will. Considering this is like 8 weeks, no, 4 weeks in advance that I'm recording this video because I'm trying to get to the end of the year. Video a week to the end of the year. Hope you enjoy. If you want to support me more, I am an author. You can find the link to my books in the description below. The link to my books will take you to my website, but any subsequent link you click on will take you to Amazon because that's where I'm self-published through. And if you want to read any more reviews that I have that are not necessarily here on YouTube, they are linked in the description as well. Thanks, and have a good one. I'll see you next week.